Alright guys, well, I hope you are in the mood for 30 minutes of me rambling. You're like, wait, what? So, this video isn't for everybody. Let me just tell you what it's about, and then you can go ahead and skip and move on with your life, or you can stay and check it out. So, basically, what I did was, this is me doing a reconnaissance of TEDs. Specifically, I'm going to TEDs, a mountain area that has bike trails that's unofficial, because technically you're not supposed to really be, it's not like an official public accessed bike area. But that being said, the locals, know about it, and it's TEDs. And so there's a particular trail called Otter. And Otter, from my understanding, because I'm not going to ride it. Well, I lied. I did ride it, but I didn't ride it like my kid does and his friends. But it's the most challenging ride, in my opinion, at TEDs out of all the trails. So what I wanted to do was just really take a hike, take the opportunity. You can see myself in the shadow there, walking like a dork, carrying the GoPro, recording. As that little smart aleck kid absolutely didn't slow down while he rode by a pedestrian. This guy was better about it. But anyway, back on track. I just want to record the trail and kind of just give a tour, right? Not a necessarily tour, but kind of document, like, what is this whole trail all about? Well, on the way to the trail, I said to myself, I'll go ahead and document everything from the absolute beginning
What's up, bro?
to the trail head. And I'll let you know when Otter officially starts, because this is just literally a fire road taking you up to the top of TEDs, which is where one of the many trailheads begins. And of course, this is behind, and you may have seen it in the other video as well. Hey, look, a UFO in the upper left-hand corner, but we won't point that out. This is a kind of a fire road, access road for behind some houses at a neighborhood. And so you have to go up this area here, eventually getting up to a point where we're going to make a right-hand turn. Just kind of giving you a view, giving some context every so often. Looking all around, a lot of washout there. Super ruddy. So one thing about San Diego is pretty much when there's any rains, it gets super ruddy. I mean, I said about San Diego, I don't know, maybe it gets ruddy in other areas as well, but the type of dirt that we have, man, it's you go on a trail, it rains, it's almost like a completely different trail after the rain. But whatever. So what is that thing out in the sky? I don't know, because it doesn't move. Wouldn't it be interesting if I were to tell you that it wasn't there before I recorded, but it's there now, and then I made up some story or came up with a hypothesis that it only was seen through a recording, right? Maybe it's like a frame rate thing where it actually sees it. Anyway, enough of that. Back on topic. So anytime you're going to access TEDs, you're pretty much going to come from this location here. This is like the number one way to get here. When you come to this location, since you're going to want to go to a trail head, you're going to make a right. If you're done riding a trail, a lot of them will take you to the left and downhill. And then when you want to leave, you would come up to where we were just now at that fork in the road. In a previous video, when we were leaving at night, that's the way we came, and then we left the exact same pathway that you saw me just now come up. But we're going to go ahead and continue moving forward. I don't know if it's still there or not today, but there is it's so random. There's a statue of Buddha on the left-hand side of this trail as you go towards the top. But you continue on forward. Kind of a public service announcement. Always be sure to keep your ears open. I don't recommend having like AirPods or whatever in your ears, because sometimes these folks will whiz right by super fast. So you have been warned. And personally, I think that's on you. I mean, it's really two-party. Oh, there it is. Look. See? Oh, there's the Buddha to the left. We just passed him. But yeah, it's both parties, right? Pedestrians or other riders need to be aware. And then, of course, riders coming downhill, they need to be aware. So it's all just get along. So I'm stepping to the side, letting this guy cruise by. I mean, I know he wasn't next to me, but I just wanted to kind of catch him into the frame. Also too, when I initially heard him coming, I wasn't sure if he was coming down my trail or someone else's. Pretty smooth sailing, pretty chill. It's really hard packed dirt. Really, it's more like hard packed sand with a loose layer of sand on top of it. It's almost like these little tiny ball bearings is really how this kind of sand chunks look and feel. So it's super slippery. Kind of heads up. So that's another trail. All right, we just came up that one, and then there's really two to the right. This is kind of a turnout area. People can just like pause and then catch up with the gang, whatever. Back on track to this trail. We're continuing on. You can see it's a little higher up ahead at that peak. And beyond what I'm going to show you in this video, there is actually, you know, again, even if you're just into hiking or biking or not, if you were to go up and continue following this path, you'll end up going like southwest. And there it's a flattened out area, and there's like some cement wall thing. It's super random, but it's a, you know, pretty nice spot to get a view. Another trail to the left. And I'm pausing because I'm not sure if someone is coming. Again, another reason why guys always have a bell. And this is a really narrow section, right? This is on me to make sure that I don't impede them, because it's easier for me to get out of the way. It's not easier for a bike to get out of the way. So coast looks like it's pretty clear. Let's go ahead and continue on. I mean, look at the growth. I think the landscaping is done because we come by and hit it with our elbows. I don't know. Now this is another slightly smaller to the right kind of view there with a trail off in the distance. We're continuing to ascend. Look how ruddy it is. All right, little something to the right, obviously a trail to the left. And I absolutely did not narrate in the order that I turned the camera, but okay. And we're continuing to ascend. We're almost to the top. It's kind of funny that we're walking right into the sun. It's like we're walking into heaven. Great news too, by the way, if any of you are interested. There's no poison ivy or anything. Poison oak, whatever. Poison oak out here. But there's none of that out here, so just that's cool. Well, when I say out here, I mean on this trail. We have it in San Diego, but this right here, you can see as you come down, you can make an immediate right and then swoop around and then cross over where we just came. This is a trail to the right, and also another one even more to the right, like right. But we're going to continue going uphill, ascending away we go. Did I mention there's a lot of crisscross trails? Look at that. You got one to the right, the one to the left, but nope. We are going to continue moving on, heading uphill. And I personally am just kind of enjoying the ride here. Just looking at the scenery. Part of the reason why I enjoy doing the videos, I mean, I like messing around with media, but it's really nice to kind of capture certain things that you've seen. It's kind of like a capturing of an experience. And these videos allow us, or even photographs, right? Allows us to revisit that experience that we had. Pretty cool. Almost there. Stay on target. It's interesting how tall the brush is. If you needed to get off this, leave this area as quickly as possible, you're not going to be running through the bush. You're pretty much going to have to stay on the trail because that stuff is pretty thick. Not to mention, of course, some of this stuff has cactus and critters like Mr. Rattlesnake. All right, well, we are super near the spot. If you were to go straight, probably for another, at this rate, without stopping, maybe 5-10 minutes, you would get to that big flat spot that I was talking about. By the way, look at that. You see it? There goes a bike rider who's going to go for another one. That thing in the sky, I'm not messing around. Like, if I did see it when I was there in person, then why did I not film it more? But my question is why is it there and why is it not moved? So if it was a plane pulling a sign, it would have moved. If it was just a plane, it would have moved. A helicopter wouldn't just hover there that long. It looks too big. Not trying to be funny, but now the more I think about it, first I was just joking. But now that I think about it, like, what is that thing? That's weird. In a cool way. Cool mysteries. I love mysteries. All right, we're getting warmer. Almost to the top. Now this is a view to the north, to the east, and now to the south. Again, this is San Diego, California, and this is considered Rancho Bernardo. That would be north of Poway, and this would be on the east side of the 15. See a trailhead there, and the trail continues on to that flat area that I was talking about. And that's the way we came. All right. So what's the next step? What are we going to do next? Go a little higher because we're not at the trailhead yet. Again, for those of you late to class, this is a little reconnaissance video that I'm created because I just wanted to document the ins and outs of Otter, the trail itself, on the way to the trailhead because we haven't even got to the Otter Trail yet. I decided I'm here anyway, so I might as well document the whole thing on how to get to Ted's. Well, okay, get to Ted's. Start climbing Ted's. I didn't show you how to get to Ted's. And we're getting there. All right, we are super close. Y'all saw that that jump on the right? This is the way I like it. Nice and quiet. Not a lot of riders. Oh, side note, because I don't come here very often at all, but my boy does, and he was saying there's at least one guy that's like a professional rider, and he comes here a lot. He sees him a lot. I don't know the name. I don't know what he does or whatever, and frankly, I've kind of some of that has left the old memory. But he was just mentioning as some guy that's like, I think he does reviews for Pink Bike, and he's also like some fancy rider. But anyway, who knows? Who cares? All right, so now we're at a spot. Kind of memorize this location here. It's that flat kind of open area with that little bush chunk in the middle. If you were to, behind us, if you were to keep going, you would go to that flattened area, continue going south. You'd have an excellent view to the south. There's like a cement chunk. People have done some like art graffiti on it and whatnot. What we're doing now though is we are officially starting the Otter Trail. So we've just started it. It's super mundane and chill until you get to, well, not until, but just a feature to the right. You can have a little jump there. Boom. For all intents and purposes though, it's still pretty chill. It's going to careen to the left. This is called a shark fin, is what the guys call it. And then you jump right off of here. Boom. Catch that gap. Continue on. Or you can go around it, whatever. But it's pretty decent. I mean, if you're going at a decent amount of speed, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know how people do trails blind. That's above my skill set. I like to know if I was going to do it. Like if I was going to go off a jump, wouldn't you want to know what's on the other side? I don't know, dude. Guess I'm the weirdo. So anyway, I just decided not even to edit anything. So yeah, you're seeing some extended views of things is what it is. But yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty chill, right? You're just seeing this, and I heard this guy coming, so I got away. So see how he went around that jump? And now he's just going straight. Now this is where it's going to get hairy, well, for me, as I'm filming, because these guys aren't used to people walking on the trail, and I don't want to be that guy, you know? So they don't care that I'm there. They care if I, mess them up or if I'm dangerous or anything like that. And, safety first, right? So stay out of people's ways. This is a pretty decent jump right there, clearing that debris, that rock debris. So you can come around this, make a slight left turn, and you can come here, boom. You can hit that little jump, clear that rock debris there, land it there, you're good to go. Or you can go around it, which is the way I walked. The conditions right now for the dirt are actually really good. It's best after it's rained and then it's been a few days of drying. It's like, that's like most optimal. But this is still really good right here. And the weather's really nice and there's actually a breeze. So it's super comfortable. Over here, it's kind of a on accident gap from some runoff. Now you're back on the trail, going slightly uphill, nothing crazy. What's nice about this trail, even though I'm not, a veteran of it, is that it has like super mundane stuff and then it has some aggressive stuff. What a great view, right? So the way we came, right, is what I'm pointing out. Then as you come to the fork in the road, you go west. You go to the left. There it is. The sun is setting, or in the direction thereof, and you can see off in the distance. I mean, it's beautiful. You guys probably can't make it out because you're not used to it, but if you look at the right, there's a peak with what looks like little antennas, and that is Black Mountain. All right, so you come here. This is more of just a drop. So this feature is just more of a drop, or you can roll the chunk. So here you come in, and nothing crazy. Just be aware, right? So chunk, chunk, chunk. It's kind of like two step down levels if you wanted to get into it. But God, look at that thing. It's still in the sky. What is that? Maybe I know what it is. Maybe I'm just waiting to tell you till the end. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. And for those 3 people that watch my videos, feel free to put into the comments what that thing is that just doesn't even move. All right, so next up, right? So we just went over, you can roll down or you can just take that little drop. Then you come to this secondary piece here after a short flat, and then it's another drop, boom. So now you're here on this compact sand. Here comes a dude. See, right there, perfect. And then he chose to go right then left. That was his line because he's avoiding the rut. I'm actually really glad that people are cruising bikes. It's nice to be able to film these guys. Oh, side note, as it's buried into this video that no one's ever going to hear about because it's in the middle of the video and probably only 2 people are going to watch this anyway. One of the things that I wanted to do and that I'm going to do is I am actually working on getting a license certification for commercial drone flying. Why am I even bringing that up? Well, unless you want to get caught by the FAA and be charged $50,000 per flight, you better have that certification if you post any footage from your drone that is monetized. So if it's on YouTube, you better have a certification. But anyway, that's why I was bringing that up. But why are you bringing up drone talk right now? The reason being is that I would love to be able to use the drone just multiple ideas, right? But one of them, just because we're looking at this right now, how cool would it be to get a POV of a rider but you're the drone and you just literally whiz down this trail as the drone, but recording their vantage point, number one. Number two, how cool would it be to follow a rider down the trail and, basically recording them experiencing the trail? That would be really cool. So anyways, we have that drop back there, pretty long, straight. I'm not even gonna call this a drop. It's this roll or this little mini drop. Then you have this berm that goes to the right. Watch out for the potholes. You can see how it's really dug out there in a couple of spots. But for the most part, we're back to normal. It's just a trail cruising forward. Now we're kind of going northwest, a little rock, not even a big deal. Roll it. launch right off of it. Not even a big deal. A little ruddiness. Pausing here just to kind of give you the vantage point of the overall. I'm kind of reversing up now, just so you can kind of just see the depth and stuff. Because with the lens, it doesn't really give you that same kind of feel. So I was really trying to just get in there and so you can get an idea of like, oh, it's 1.5 feet or whatever. And then you can kind of get the overall vantage point of here comes the trail, you flow through. Obviously, if you were to ever do this trail, for the most part, it's going to be exactly this. The ruts might be a little different due to weather, but for the most part, you're getting a good idea of what this is all about. Now from here, you can just launch off of this. It's not even a jump, it's more of just a drop here with a little bit of a gap. Not getting into the argument of the semantics on all that. And then I don't remember, as I'm looking at this, I honestly don't remember if I was standing to the side because I wanted to continue filming or if I heard a dude coming. All right, so we're carrying on. So you hit that drop and then making this little left here, but we're descending, right? So it's a down, left, and we're continuing to descend, right? Little tiny catch some air if you wanted to, boom. You would have already landed by now, making a left. Going into this little mini straight, and then you can just, so basically it's snaking back and forth with a continual descent. Nothing too crazy on the ruts. Overall, we've only seen, some really chill jumps and some drops. Nothing really too crazy. You got the berm that takes you to the right. You could catch some air off of this lip, but when you land it, make sure you're ready to make a left on this berm. Just taking a moment to kind of step back, and basically the highest point that we're looking at back there is where we started. So we've actually covered a lot of ground in this short amount of time. So moving on, we're still descending. You can't really see it. It's actually a hell of a lot steeper, to be honest, than the camera shows. Like the camera, it doesn't seem, it's going down, but it's like not that big of a deal. It's actually pretty steep. It's totally doable as far as like riding it. The challenge, and I'm just speaking for my perspective, is because of the steepness, you're not just going to put on your brakes and like, oh, I'm just going to pause. You kind of have to commit. Like you're going downhill. You can control how fast you go, yes. But I'm telling you right now, you got to stay on top of that and know what you're able to do. And if you want to stop, you're not going to like stop and then just like, oh, I'm going to wait on this slanted area. No, you can't do that wherever you want. So you can go around this kind of to the left on that ruddy side, or you can just go ahead and launch off of this drop, but you're going to want to clear that area here. Now you've landed. You're continuing on depending on what your line is, but see, it's pretty uber chunk right now. Not that it's not doable, but just being aware. So chunkity chunk, or you went left, which is pretty chill. Then you drop in here. Now you're going forward, and again, right? Do you want to take the left and do some chunk? Nope. Most people are going to be doing the right, which is smoother, faster, but you understand you are going to be doing a little bit of a drop there. See how, it's showing more of how steep it is, but you still don't really understand how steep it is. All right, so you just did a little drop here. And now, I don't know why I'm pausing here so long, making such a big deal. Well, I figured I would edit, and be honest, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not going to edit. But you can see that several feet there at the deepest section. So it's a descent in addition to a drop, so it makes it, pretty fast. Now, spoiler alert, I actually have ridden this. But I didn't fly down it. Nope. But great news, I didn't die. And I did not fall, which I have been known to do when I've ridden my bike. All right, so we're coming down. Nothing too crazy. All this, the overall, yeah, it's a descent. It's fairly steep, but other than what we've already talked about, pretty straightforward. Another drop, which is not too huge. You're now landing here on this sand. Well, compacted sand, or if you wanted to go around the drop, you can just roll it on the far right. Choose your line carefully. Now you're coming here. Pretty much you're going to need to make some type of leftish area choice. If you were to go to the, or I'll show you in the far right, it's too much in the bush. So really this is kind of the center is where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to show with the camera. I mean, look how deep that rut is. I mean, that's like 4 feet if you go to the base of the rut from the top of the drop. Obviously, you're not going to land in the rut, or you better not be. You shouldn't be, but you can just skip this little rutted area and then just right here land on the far left and just roll pretty smoothly right through here and then just cross through this wet section here straight through, kind of like actually where I'm walking now. I guess I'm imitating the line while showing the various features. But, you know, drop the seat, lean back, you know, don't be leaning forward. Have the travel on your bike, stay loose but firm, and you're fine. Look how I talk like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't, but I do. I do enough to get in trouble. All right, so super mini drop. You can roll it, you can drop it, whatever. I wish I could tell my past self, let's fast forward this thing. And my present self says I'm just too lazy because we're almost done to even edit this thing. But thank goodness you guys can fast forward as much as you want and click around. You're welcome. All right, so just a little bit of a, you know, rock and the ruddiness, and that's nothing. You went up just a little bit, but now you're back to a descent. Now you're descending. Memory serves, I feel like a dude flies by pretty soon. All right, you can send it off of this thing here. That's actually pretty decent sized. I mean, I'm standing, right? And that thing's probably waist height. And there's still a slight descent. So depending on your speed, and if you lift, then you can get some distance there. Now you're back on some pretty chill trail. Not much of a choice here. Sometimes I remember too, kind of reliving the experience of filming this thing. Sometimes what I'm doing is I'm like, I think I hear somebody and I better find a spot that I can step off to the side. Because they do come down pretty fast, especially the dudes that know what they're doing. Now this gap is stupid long. No thank you. I mean, rationally, I can see the math, and I'm like, yeah, totally doable. But, man, I'm just like, my heel time is not like it used to be, so no thank you. But there it is. So you come down here, mega speed. Like, there's so much speed you can get right there. Launching it. Then you go ahead and skip this, you know, cross this gap. Boom. You land it here. I mean, it's decent sized. So once you land it, you're still on some pretty good speed here, but it's pretty chill. You're going to be making a left. Swooping through here. And then it's really nothing to talk about. You know, a little ruddiness, typical trail stuff. Berm to the right. Nothing crazy. Not even worth mentioning that little bit of rut. Berm to the left. Another lip. I don't even know if I want to call that a gap. It is a little gappy. Cruising along. Little lip if you want to play and catch some air here. Super thin amongst the bushes. So obviously you don't get stick your elbows out and stuff. Crazy. Can't remember if a guy's going to ride by or not on this one. I feel like he is. I feel like I heard bell. And I feel like I wanted to get in a position where I'm like, yeah, let's capture this guy riding by. It's like me doing this for the first time because I'm not going to cheat and look ahead in the video. Because that would be almost like I prepared and did my homework, and I absolutely did not. I just put this video from one place to another and literally just started narrating. Here we go. So, yeah, so he's not going fast. He was going chill. And you can see he just went like not even far on that lip. But I did hear his bell coming. That's what it was. All right. So anyway, we're going to get the hell out of the way because you do not want a bike coming here. There's nowhere to go. You have to dive into the bushes. We are moments away from this trail being done. Yeah, I think with a drone flying through, preferably at the height of a bicyclist, you would probably get a better vibe. So look at this little, it's a lip before a drop. So I'm not even going to call it a gap. You can roll it, or if you went fast enough, you would clear that whole thing, or you can just do a small little jump and then touch on the top of the second drop, whatever, or you can just roll the whole thing. Anyway, you're cruising down, and then you have the berm that goes to the right. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else coming. I think I'm just showing what it looks like. But you can see even at this stage here, it's a heck of a descent on that second drop. Like you lose, I don't know, another overall from there to the berm, probably about 10 feet, 8 feet in height there. So it's pretty big deal on the descent, man. This thing, that's the thing with Otters, it drops. It's the descent. All right, so we are almost done because that school right there is adjacent to the output, the end of the trail. And the rest of this is just, yeah, it's just matter of fact. So it's pretty flat. Don't trim the bushes. Man, I am really showing you some views, aren't I? A little bit much for my taste. I think I was doing the I'd rather over film and then edit than try to build something out and say, damn it, I don't have a certain angle. But sorry guys, I'm being lazy. All right, well, we are seconds away from wrapping this thing up. If you've stayed this long, I would say thank you, and I am going to say thank you, but I'm also going to say you've got to be just as weird as I am, so congratulations. Again, this is kind of like my scrapbook, my Facebook, my whatever. I just love, capturing moments and throwing it on YouTube, so we can always check it out at another time, so nothing crazy. I'm a weirdo that likes media and just has fun messing around with cameras and then doing stuff, right? Playing games, riding bikes, whatever. It's all good. Don't try to take it too serious. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, tell me what that thing is in the sky.
Okay, girls, tell them who they are if they're receiving this transmission.
You are one of the 47 Ronin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.